It's Laura Trevelyan here, and I am here to talk to you about these wonderful, wonderful research templates that Cockie Press has just come out with. So we're going to have a look at how they work and how they can help your writing and your research, how you can up your game and see exactly how these are used in practice. So come along with me and we'll have a look. So what we have here is the research template that is available from Cockie Press. This one is one of the ones that is very useful if you are wanting to do any kind of historical research or just any kind of research in general. There is a historical research template which is here. They're very similar, but do have a little variations that make them different. Now, I'm looking at the research template. Source type. We have, this is my source that I am using. Do have a look. So source type is secondary. Secondary source. Okay, it's not a primary source, it's interpretation of primary source and other things. Not original documents, not things produced at the time. This is information about the thing that I'm looking at. So it's interpretation from a later standpoint is what a secondary source is. The source title is Cambridge Companion to Lawrence Sterne. So okay, and our source location is book and personal library. Okay, so I am then going to go down and have a look at what we would be using. So as I work through the book, as I read the book, I'm going to be taking notes. So what are pertinent pieces of information that I am finding in this book? This book happens to be made up of a bunch of essays, and because it is made up of a bunch of essays, I would be putting in which essay it comes from, just to keep it clear so that when I go back, I know what I'm going to be looking at and where to find what I'm looking at. You can also put page numbers. That's also enormously helpful. How does this information relate to your story or to your piece of writing? So I would put that in here. So I am looking at things because I'm looking at this book because I'm looking at a sentimental journey. And so I would be putting down points that I would like to make and would be interesting potentially to viewers as I do the research for the video. What other research, like is this going to lead me down something else? So this might lead one essay to another essay. This might lead to another work. This is much more something that when you're doing more general research, you are going to certainly be inclined to use. So me, for this particular thing, less so, but we may find as I've researched that I need to look at other sources, and one of the things that is useful for other sources is having a look at the bibliography. Have a look at the sources that this source used, because that can give you if you are really hunting and you find an idea or something that you want to delve into deeper, going back and having a look, well, what did they look at, can be quite a useful trick when you're doing any kind of research. Now, the second page of this is how might this information impact the narrative or thesis of your work? So if I'm writing an essay, what is my argument, and does this support or support my argument? So these sorts of things. Does this change where I thought my narrative was going to go? What other changes do I need to make? See here, what modifications might be necessary to incorporate this new research into your work? So what do I need to change about my work to fit the research? Not how do I just ignore this thing that I've researched because I already have it perfectly plotted, because that's just silly talk, frankly. You have to, when you find out new information, you do have to change your narrative, because that's what happens. You may find that the new information opens doors that you had no idea existed. It changes things in ways that you couldn't have conceived of at the beginning, but that is the whole process of writing, of learning. So that is the research template. So far, there is a research template. There is a historical research template, which is very similar, but gives you more. This one is very specifically related to history. This one can be any kind of research. There is a template for beta readers to give you feedback on your work writing, so that what they give you is useful feedback rather than just, I liked it, I didn't like it, which, although nice, it's more helpful if you've asked someone specifically to read your book to give you feedback, to have a set of questions for them to answer so that they can give you something valuable. They've just given you their time, now you want valuable feedback. That's there. And then the final one that is up at the moment is the character building template. This is to help you build characters. Now, these templates range in price from $2 to $5, and they are available now on the Black Cockie Press website. Link is down below. There will be more templates coming in future weeks and months, but this is what we have to start with. So if any of these spark your interest, these are great. They are printable. You can print them as many times as you want. And then once you have got your template, you can pop them into your folder, keep them all together, book folder. Now I know where all my research is. It's all together. You can use these off a website, off a book, off a library book, whatever it is. You keep all your information together. You will never lose any information again. You just keep it all nicely together. So even if you're not a journal person, these are very useful for keeping your research together. You must have a research folder. You must have a book folder somewhere where you put all your information. So that is the research templates. So thank you very much for coming and having a look at these with me. I hope you are very excited about them, just as excited as I am. I know that they are going to really improve my research game. So there's a link down below to check them out and see how they go, see how you go. Really, they are one of the best things that I have come across to help keep all my research together. So until I see you again, bye-bye, happy hunting.